everyone. Welcome to this exciting new episode of Sattology Debunking Mythology. And today we have got North America's first Vedic astrologer, started in 1973. And we can proudly proclaim it that he's the first Vedic astrologer. And also, he has written a great book, Gita Comes Alive, recently, which has been extremely popular. And it was funnily called the Radical Translation. And I would say the radical in a positive sense of way, because radical can be positive, can be negative, but this is a surely radically positive translation. And one thing you will see that it automatically debunks many colonial terms, and which is a bad translation in the sense that great so-called big popular Gita translators have used very highly colonial terms, and they've actually lost the meaning in that translation. Sat means truth, which is antonym of myth, which means a lie or a fake. Sattology means the science of truth. So if you want to write articles, do write it on sattology.org. We welcome all new authors and also deep thinkers who would like to speak about the Vedic thought process in every sphere of life, whether it's politics, engineering, mathematics, any sphere of life, particularly history. So without delay, let us welcome Sri Jeffrey Armstrong.
Pradam Zadi, great to be back with you.
No, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. In the ancient times, when we talk about advisors to the kings or today's prime ministers or presidents, there was always an important component of Jyotishi or the astrology, because kings could, few things you cannot see with your eyes and few things you cannot predict. And there you rely on the science of, I'll say, Vedic mathematical science of astrology. So what is your point of view on that, sir?
Well, E equals MC squared is just a modern way of trying to say that light has a speed, and the speed of light creates time, which is happening in space. So what the ancient scientists knew in Bharat was that we are all immortal beings, and we're reincarnating and going back again and again and again to learn more. It's not punishment, it's an opportunity to have more experience. So this bigger world view is the correct world view, and the Vedic culture is the home and mother of it. And this is why in the Mahabharata, there are over 250 astronomical calculations about the exact position of the planets and stars in the sky, because they, the grahas, are the ones who deliver the cause and effect that we have all accumulated. So this is the bigger worldview of the Vedas that no other civilization has perfected.
No, that's so true, because if you look, you said 250, the astronomical calculations, and they were tied to particular historical incidents. And that is one of the most accurate ways, geography and astronomy. I mean, it can actually pinpoint to you where that incident happened, what time that incident happened, and the time, once it is gone, it never gets changed. You cannot change it. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
So what is your current view of why the modern scientists, especially the Western scientists, they reject astrology, while in people it is extremely popular? Everybody wants to know their future.
Well, I have a saying about this, Adi. If you study the history of the three Abrahamic religions, and when I talk about them, I want everyone to know I'm not being disrespectful in any way. I'm just examining their ideas and worldview so we can look at it objectively and compare it to the Veda. So I like to think of religion as junior college and the Vedic civilization as university, because the universe is a university to us. We're all here, all we Atmas, we're immortal beings within matter, learning about matter. So this is the worldview difference. That is the important place to begin the discussion of East, meaning India, and West, meaning the Abrahamic religions. And I'd like to call modern science the runaway abused child from the medieval Catholic Church. So the Catholic Church by then was colonizing the world, and science looked at religion and separated. And this is the Western dilemma, that the scientists only live for one life, and so do the religionists. And this is what they gave up, is being an immortal being, the Atma, on a journey through matter, conducted by, and here's the secret word, the Ritam. And I know Adi will say something about the Ritam.
No, Ritam, Vritti, Anavritti, all these are root words coming from Rit, and it's a Sanskrit dhatu which means a lot of things, because Vritti is what guides us, and we get it from guna from and karma also. We develop Vritti as well as we get a Vritti. But most of the people today is so funny that whenever you talk about Jyotish, they reject it when it is an important part of Vedanga. It's also part of Smriti sciences, which is Vimana Shastra, Jyotisha, Pancharatra. These are all the scriptures which are laid down the niyam and sutras which Panini, Patanjali, they all expanded. So the considering the Vedic knowledge of just Shruti as only Vedic is incomplete definition. Isn't that true?
Yes, and so let me give everyone a way to remember this. I'm a poet, so I tend to put things into little memorable frames, okay? So think of the word ri as the basic root in Sanskrit. You have to go to the dhatu, the root. So from ri, we get the next word, which is dri. And dri, D-H-R-I, is the root of dharma. It means the essential nature of a thing, which, if you take it away, it is no longer itself. That is the root of the word dharma. And the dharma of a thing is its dri. Then, when the dri becomes active as cause and effect, it's the ri of kri, which gives us karma. So this is a very important word that's a pivot within Sanskrit. Samskritam, the place where the ri is. Smriti. Let's do some more. Rishi. Prakriti. Nature, Mother Nature, cause and effect within matter. Vriti, as Adi said, it means twisted. When your relation to the laws of nature is twisted, you have vrittis. How about season? They're called the ritus. How about a ritual? Which these are just some of these very important words, but dri and kri and ritus and vriti, prakriti, the Rig Veda, all of these ri terms. I'm going to show you in a moment even more how they have taken over English.
Interesting, very, very interesting. One thing comes to my mind, you throw the word, I don't know, purposely or unpurposely, ritual, and which is which is like a said that it's a ritual, means there is no feelings to it, just you have to do it out of distaste and just do it, just get it done. Do you think that's the connotation of it right now?
Well, it also means it's part of nature. Yeah. So you do a ritual. If you take the car keys in your car, put them in the ashtray, it doesn't start the car. If you put them in the ignition, it starts the car. So that's a ritual because you're following the ri, or the correct rules of nature. But then that's why we call it religion, because ri also means, from the Sanskrit, to adhere to. So ligare is a book of rules. So religion is a group of people following some rules. It's a religion, but it's from the Sanskrit. They've just used it in their own language, in Latin, and then in Greek, and then Greek and Latin, and then in English.
Yeah, sometimes like the people remove the So when they say ritual, it can be a which is like a just doing it for the sake of it, with no meanings behind it, or just they're doing a ritual like the I'm going to do like something like makes it like core. I'm going for a daily core, which is just following a ritual, and it takes out the essence from that particular, like you said, nature. And something can be natural, like one of the rituals is stoning a stone. Like it just goes on and on. Like many people, they say they're stoning and they make a symbol out of it. They're stoning a Satan, and then they perform a ritual of literally putting somebody in the back in the water, the flowing river water, put the head in the water, and they take it out, and they say, okay, now you are spiritual, you're changed. So what you call those kind of rituals as?
Those are in English called a ceremony. There's also the same re in there.
Yeah.
But in English, everyone's forgotten the ritum. The ritum is the divine intelligence distributed throughout material matter. And following that divine intelligence gives us the right benefit. We get the right return on our investment of action. And this is why Cree, or chains of cause and effect, is how everything happens here. But an empty ritual is when we no longer understand why we're doing a particular formalized cause and effect based behavior. And this is what the Agni Hotra Yagya has become. People have forgotten why they're offering, why they're doing the ritam. What is the ritual doing for me? It's allowing me to cooperate with nature. That's what the rituals were first for. Their actions cooperating with the laws of nature, which are called the ritam. So these rules, this ritual, when it's empty, it's no longer teaching us. But when we're cooperating, so for us, the Agnihotra, that putting things into the fire is our saying thank you to the laws of nature, the devas and devis, for conducting nature for us and giving us the food. Then we do a ritual. We offer it back to the devas by putting it into Agni. And this then completes the circle. And we're saying thank you. Thank you very much. We now are cooperative humans.
If you look at the ancient scriptures like Mahabharata and Ramayana, which is the ancient history of the world, which people ignore many times, that the ritual. So those Agnihotra, the Agni, you said the Agni and Hotra, those were specifically meant to connect to the ethereal world or the outside world through Agni, because Agni combines the ethereal aspect and connects it to the earth and also connects it to water. So all the elements are controlled in that Agni. And so when the through mantra, when you offer something to that Agni, it reaches a different world altogether. And that's the whole purpose of that Agnihotra. And somehow that and it was very prevalent in Parsi Desh, which is Parsi, which was later called Persia, and also which is today's Iraq, Iran, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and right till Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. These are the areas, large area of Persia and Armenia too. And later on, these were destroyed due to different Kali effects. And the purposely the Agni Hotra was stopped, because the entire Parsi land was known for Agni. It was not Agni worshipping. Agni was used as a medium to transcend the earthly consciousness. What do you have to say on that? The very deep meaning of that Agnihotra.
There's so many Sanskrit words that are embedded in English. I love to find them. So one is the word Sur, is from the word Surya. Surya is one of the Sanskrit names for the sun, as in the Gayatri. So this, it's Savitur. Savitri is the Shakti of the sun, the sunshine. Umbur bhuvasva tat savitur varenyam. Bargo devasya dimahi dioyo naprachodiyat. We're in the presence of the sun and the moon and the planets in their motions. This is the unfoldment of Kala, or time, which is indeed the speed of light crossing space. But if we don't hold a bigger view of our journey here, then cause and effect becomes like a punishment, because we think we only have one chance, one lifetime. That's the Abrahamic worldview. Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and modern science say we have only one life. So if you're going to be a member of the Vedic civilization, you start with being the Atma, the indestructible atomic particle of divine reality, of Brahman, of Briha. So the word Brahman's root is Briha. Again, the Ri. Then that comes Dri, Dharma, Kri, Karma, Prakriti, cause and effect. All of these Ri words are to show us that we have a large amount of time and we're immortal. We cannot die. And this is the premise of the Vedic civilization that makes it so profound. As soon as you forget that, then you're lost. And this is the rest of the planet right now. They're simply lost in time. And they've lost the perspective of having many lifetimes in which to evolve and grow and develop and learn. So they've missed the point of being here. I call it at the university. They're still in grade school and they think that's all there is.
Well, you brought very important the word sir. I did not know that, because the sir culture has destroyed the whole world.
That's because the feminine has been missing.
I have to tell my students sometimes, don't call me sir, call me Mahoday, but don't call me sir.
Well, so let's take a look at what happened to this. I'll tell you a fun way to remember this. If you think that the rhythm is not present in English, then what is reading, writing, and arithmetic? Reading, writing, written, arithmetic is all the re. And then where is India? It's part of the Orient. We need to get reoriented and return to our original consciousness. It's the right thing to do, which is the right thing to do. We need to remember, or else we will reincarnate. And we need to understand reality. And even Christ is Christ, and Christmas is trying to remember the but I'm afraid they've forgotten. So then it becomes vritti, and vritti means twisted. Twisted by what? The return. The orbits twist everything. And then a twisted person is listening to what? Advertisers. The vert in advertisement is vri. It's against the rhythm.
Right.
So advertisers are twisting you to get your money.
Yes.
So all these re words, we have to remember them from now on. Do you understand?
Now I can never forget the re now.
And the orient, and to remember the ritual, the right way, so we can return.
One of the things you said about advertisers is a funny story. So a person goes to an advertiser, and there's Yamraj is doing an advertisement actually. So he first shows a nice palace and Swargaloka, and everyone says, "Wow, what a good place." But when he actually reaches Narak, he said, "What was that?" He said, "That was advertisement."
Absolutely. So this is the secret. These dhatus, these particular ones, are very important. So let me give you an extension of this. The next word that we know is from Jyotish is that there are the grahas. And the word graha means to grasp. It's where the word gravity comes from in English. The word grave, because grave as in you're being pulled into the grave, the gravity of the earth. So this graha is that cause and effect has a hold of us because the effect eventually happens over time. It doesn't come right away because everything is delayed within matter. And so what follows us from life to life is not a punishment or a reward. It's a reaction. It's action and reaction. So the Vedic culture is just scientific. They say, you're the Atma, you cannot die. But you're visiting a place where everything works on time. So it takes a while for what you order from the catalog. So just imagine every time we do something in nature, its cause and effect is put in motion, but it takes a while for that delivery to come. Mm-hmm. Just like Amazon. Now we have Amazon, so it's just like the Devas. You tell Amazon, this is what I want, and it's now coming in the mail. You've ordered it, so it's going to come to your address. So this is all that Kri is. Karma is simply material world is based on cause and effect. The grahas are the UPS, delivering what you ordered from Amazon, which is the laws of nature, the ritam. And now that's coming toward you, but you forgot that you ordered it because you got busy with your next day. So this is called Jyotish.
So one of the things which people say, and generally I'm being a opinion, a question has come now on our chat. One of the things that people say that remembering Jyotish means that we are going backward and we are going back, becoming more superstitious. And whereas my viewpoint is, and then you comment, my viewpoint is that getting a hint of what is going to come, that's called intelligence, because now you're preparing yourself for something so that you can correct that course of action. What do you think that holds? What do you have?
Well, I'd like to juxtapose it to another wonderful word, which is stupa. A stupa is a pile of earth, water, fire, air, and space. The actual statue that's called a stupa is just symbols of the 5 elements of matter.
Right.
So by itself, it's just a stupa. And if you are nothing but a pile of elements, you're stupid. It's stupid to just be unconscious matter. And all the matter around us is stupid. It has no consciousness. We are covered in matter, but we have consciousness. So we're wearing a stupa. But if we think we are the body, we're stupid. And that stupidity is the problem. It simply makes us forget. So we have what I call I amnesia. We've forgotten who I am. That's the aham of aham brahmasmi. Aham briha. I am the conscious entity from the conscious realm visiting prakriti, the realm of unconscious, stupid matter, which in itself has no consciousness.
Right.
And I have to reawaken my consciousness. That's called yoga.
Right. True.
So that then puts me in a position to say, I see. So I've done a lot of things in a previous bodies that are still coming toward me because I opened the accounts.
Right.
So now it belongs to me. And if it's something I'll enjoy, I'll be glad for that karma, kri, that reminder, that remembering. But if I don't like what is delivered, I'll get upset. I'll say, oh, you don't like me anymore. No, it's not like or dislike. It's just the stuff you ordered from the catalog. It's not a punishment.
Yeah, people love catalog shopping, but they forget about the catalog of karma, which is a totally different one. One of the books I wrote was Karma is a Bee, and in that is all about the karma. I think that's probably the first book or ever on exclusively on karma, with not a Western viewpoint, because Western there are a lot of many authors have written on karma, but did not cover swarga, no naraka, no punishments. They ultimately was very superficial books they've written. But karma or kri dhatu, which you said, it's the most important aspect of our life today, because we blame everyone else but ourselves. When they say three fingers, when you point three fingers, one at somebody else, three point at you, and one point to the person above who's observing you. So there is a so Jyotish, so Jaya Uttishta. Do you think that that's the Sanskrit etymology of Jyotish?
Absolutely. The- There's another characteristic of this that I want to talk about, and character is the word. So in English, the word character, if you trace it back, it goes back to the Greek karikateismos, and it's the scratches on something. You carve it out by scratching it, and that's called its characteristics. In astrology, the planets are called karakas. So I'd like everyone to just think that in the Vedic science, it's called Samkhya. The whole universe is divided into departments, each of which has a certain characteristic, each of which has a certain uh, quality and individual nature. And that's what we call the devas. It's nature divided into all its intelligent departments. So we then, in each birth, have characteristics, meaning we've been scratched and carved a certain way. We at first call that my self. Later on, it's called our character. But in Jyotish and astrology, the planets are called karakas. And where the planets were when you were born are indicators of your character. They're indicators of how you had shaped yourself through the actions in your previous life. And then you take birth in a family whose combined DNA can produce a body with those characteristics. And then that body is the vehicle in which you will continue to experience your journey through matter. It's only this return, this reincarnation that makes the journey sensible. And this is the basis of the Vedic civilization. And the being in charge of that process is, guess who? Ganesha. Ganesha is the deity of Samkhya, of the science of the Vedas. And yoga and the Vedas all together are the science of life to life progress. And if you give that up, you only have one life and no meaning to life.
You brought such an important point of Ganesha, who is the most famous deity in all over the world. I mean, you take any culture, number one is Ganesha, then Shiva, and then Krishna. And probably Ram may have more popularity in the Vishnu avatar, but generally Ganesha, Shiva, Ram, and then Krishna. These are the four most popular. You have tattoos in Mexico on Ganesha, everybody walking around, nobody understands. But one thing they understand is a lucky symbol, removes all obstacles. That's what it says, Ganesha. And also, you said a very important point, and there was a very famous author or show sometime back, and he's every time he quotes, and people who are watching this show will and remember when he says Ganesh Icha, very famous author, very famous personality. So where Gana Isha, which he says the god of all mathematics, the counting, and so coming to our here in the you have written a great book, Gita Comes Alive, and also you're getting very popular feedback, and I saw it on #1 on Amazon this week. So congratulations on that, #1. So
Thank you.
what do people look for in that book when they read that book?
The best way to think of Arjun and his dilemma, let's just think that we're all in a similar dilemma. The world seems to us to be a fairly difficult, conflicted place. And we're always, this is Ganesha also, we're always running into these obstacles. So we need some kind of way of negotiating all of this complex conflict that we see around us. And the question for us as an individual is, how do I deal with the conflicts that I come in contact with each day? Because everybody here is a work in progress. This is what Ganesha represents. Our obstacles. Did you know the word Gana gave us the word Jena of genetics in English? So genetics is the same word as Gana, Isha, Ganesha. Because our genetics are both our obstacle and they're our vehicle. So what is Ganesha riding upon? He's riding upon a mouse. Why a mouse? Because a mouse nibbles away at things. And that's called gnawing. But in Sanskrit, it's jnana. So the Bhagavad Gita and the rest of the Shastra, actually, but the Gita is this user's manual for all of us humans. So we have an easy to remember and easy to use manual to change ourselves gradually from animal to human to our Atma as a divine. We have what I call I amnesia. We're forgetful of who we are. Ganesha represents the journey from our animal nature back to understanding that we're the Atma. Brahmabhuta prasanatma nasosati nakamsati. Dehinosmin yata dehe. We're going from forgetfulness that we're the Atma to remembering that we're the immortal being, the consciousness inside the animal body. The word zodiac in astrology is zoo. And the stars are called the circle of animals, and they represent the animal body that we're in. So the Bhagavad Gita is the book to help us remember that we're the Atma, not the animal that we're riding. If you ride a horse, you don't become the horse. The horse is your vehicle. This is our animal. We're the Atma. Forgetting that is to get lost in the animal world, and then you're caught in the conflict only.
So we'll play a little bit of quiz now between two of us. Okay. So because I know you, so we belong to the similar school, same school of thought, Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. So now, which is the most favorite shloka of yours? And then I'll tell mine.
Bahunam janmanamante, jnanavan mam prapadyate, vasudeva sarvama iti, samahatma sudurlabhaha.
Beautiful.
Chapter 7, verse 19. Many lifetimes we're on this journey. Bahunam janmanamante. Jnanavan, nibbling away at understanding all the great truths that we need to know and who we are. Finally, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. This great container that we're inside, patiently allowing us to go on this journey, that's our beloved Vasudeva.
And one of my favorite is Neha Bhikramanasho Asti Pratyavayo Navidite. Swalpamapi asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. A little bit advancement on this path can deliver you from the greatest fear. Like, one of the beautiful, like each and every, the way you were telling the shloka, each and every shloka of Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna is so much deep essence in it. And it connects, like it lifts you up, and just meditating on it. Now, I'll ask you one tricky question, and you can answer. Which is the most misunderstood shloka of Bhagavad Gita, according to you?
I don't know.
There, so, like when people say all the kinds of talks, they say, the akarmane, karmane, paschat, karmane, karmane, buddhasya. Like when Krishna talks about different types of karma, and then he says, yoga karmasu kaushalam. He says, yoga is the art of doing work. So, karma, according to me, is karmarne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma karma phale turbhur mate sangas. Because according to me, Bhagavad Gita is an action book. Kriya. It's the most actionable book you can ever see. It's all about action, 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 because somebody did not want to perform his action. So Krishna spoke all the words to tell him about his actions. And according to me, that is the most misunderstood part of Bhagavad Gita, according to me, because this shloka is the most popular one also. Anybody will quote this shloka. And the second one is Sar Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. Aham Tvam Sarpavibhi Moksha Shami Ma Shucha. I was speaking to somebody says Ma Shucha means clean the toilets. This is exactly somebody said. Shucha, they connected Shucha with Shocha. And so it's these two very misunderstood shloka. So why do people understand this kind of, or misunderstand these shloka, or quote it in an incorrect way, according to you?
They need to become reoriented. They've gotten disoriented. It's the re. They don't remember, and so they keep on reincarnating. They don't understand reality. And so they need to understand the rhythm, and they need to practice dharma, basic dri, to correct their karma, kri, their actions, align them with the vrittis and the ritus of prakriti, and then they need to listen to the rishis so that they get smriti, or remembrance of who they are. Smaranam. It's our forgetfulness that is the enemy.
Yeah. No, very well put. Very well put. And so viewers, do get this copy of Gita on Amazon, and also gitacomes alive.com. And it's one of the beautiful prints. It's a golden embossed on the side. It's a collector's item. Keep it with you and in your drawing rooms, and put it on a center table, coffee table, but don't put coffee on it. So just to keep it clean. So, so thank you. So you're saying something. Jeffrey, yes, you're saying
Just
something.
that I'd like everyone to remember, reading, writing, arithmetic, these are from the rhythm. All those words are the scratches we make on matter. Our character is given to us by the karakas, the planets, the grahas, as a response to what we've done so far. We're progressing through a university, and this is the Vedic process. Therefore, we keep reorienting ourselves with the Bhagavad Gita, so we remember who we really are.
Thank you so much for joining, all the viewers who joined live. And this is our weekly show. And if you could not watch it live, there will be recording on YouTube. Will be there live. Will be premiering within a week. But a lot of other shows of mine and Jeffrey are going live by this week and next week. So keep watching them and keep subscribing it. Let us know your feedback. And we already have crossed 50,000 views on these videos, so which is phenomenal. So thank you and namaskar.